My name is Rob Maloney. I'm a member of the United Soccer Coaches and have been since 2018, all of 2 years. I'm a girls varsity coach in Massachusetts. I'm a member of the 30 under 30 program this year. Since 1941, United Soccer Coaches has been committed to providing programs and services that enhance, encourage, and contribute to the development and recognition of soccer coaches, the players, and the game we love. Your association would like to welcome all members to Baltimore for the 2020 convention and encourage all of you to get involved through your advocacy groups. Join us tomorrow from 4:30 to 5:30 in the foyer of the Convention Center ballroom for our advocacy hour to meet the group leaders and to learn how you can take a more active role in your association. On behalf of the association, it is my honor to introduce Neil Hall, who's currently a lecturer at the University of Texas, San Antonio in coaching methodologies, scientific foundations of soccer, as well as Director of Players Academy of Soccer Skills. Today, Neil will be presenting effective training methods to develop flank plays supported by technology. Neil is currently the United Soccer Coaches State Director for Texas and a member of their National Academy coaching staff. He is an Associate Professor of Coaching Education at UT San Antonio. He was awarded the United Soccer Coaches Coach of the Year and National Coach of the Year Award. He has educated players at the club, high school, college, regional, Olympic, developmental, and national levels. He grew up in England, and prior to coming to the U.S., he was an Army physical training instructor. He's a proud military veteran of the Army Physical Training Corps. Supporting the session is Coach Brian Davis, who's the Director of Coaching for San Antonio Surf. Thank you for attending this year's convention in Baltimore. Again, please welcome Neil Hall and Brian Davis as they present effective training methods to develop flank plays supported by technology.
Well, thank you. Thank you for attending today, and thank you for being at the United Soccer Coaches Convention here in Baltimore. I'd like to welcome you to the Baltimore Armour Ladies and the Ladies of Pipeline Soccer Club, who will be our demo players today, along with Coach Davis, who will be supporting the session. Coach Davis, would you like to keep going? Alright, so this session today is built in line with a special topics course, which is about developing systems through the use of technology. We'll be supporting this class with further lecture base explaining where we've come from, explaining where we're going in room 309 at 1 o'clock this afternoon. So, building into this then, methodologies for effective flank play through the use and development of technology. Coming into this session, we've already supported it with huddle, with breakdown from instant, and we're using within the session tactical pad, as you'll see Coach Brian doing. At the moment then, we're coming into a little warm-up. This warm-up is to support building flank play. And if you look at the warm-up, we've got a 3v3 in the middle, and we've got point players at the target players at the corners, with a full-pass player on the outside. The objective here is to be able to pass the ball through width and then penetrate to be able to switch the point of attack. So if you see the success is gained through this activity, orange will pass to each other, they'll pass to a flank player will pass it back to an orange player will pass it to an end player will immediately switch the play to their other end player and play it back into the original orange player. So let's watch this and see where we go with this idea of success. That's nice, she passes it to the outside, we get it back to black. Black can rotate to any end. The end can pass through, and can we connect back to a black player? Perfect, there we go. And that's what our success looks like. At our academy, the Players Academy of Soccer Skills, we train through a success criteria. We feel if we can make players better at what they're good at, we're going to make players a lot better at the other areas of their game at the same time. So we're going to support growth, and as they say, all boats float higher on the rising tide. The reason we chose go back to the Champions League, the majority of goals, I think it was 102 goals, were scored through set pieces last year. 94 goals were scored through effective flank play. The third area then was combinations within the game. So flank play is one of the most productive ways of scoring a goal. We're going to dissect this flank play, not necessarily just to be in crosses, but as the title of our activity suggests, we're going to play through crossing, cutting in, and cutting back. Three methods that we're going to use. We're going to look at a 1-4-4-2 system, because that's how we play our system at the moment. And in that system, we're going to work through the diamond formation in the middle. That diamond formation in the middle, very nice. That diamond formation in the middle is going to be selected. If we only play the possession, please watch the teams. Because if we only play the possession, we're going to look to play out for our outside backs. And they'll push forward with our wing backs. If we're in transition, we're going to look to play through the outside of our diamond. And that will force us up the field higher, and then possibly our outside backs, wing backs, will support in the attack and overlap the outside for even more width. So as we progress this session, look to the defensive backs to build, but look to the outsides of the diamond through transition. And that's going to be one of the objectives as we go through it. All right. Let's go through this ball, get their idea, and thinking about their width, thinking about pivoting, thinking about changing the point of attack as we go through. So in our academy, we have a methodology that we work through called training, testing, trusting. And in everything we do, we train it first of all. Then we put it under pressure to test it, and then we give it back to the players to trust it. So even within the session, we'll form the session through three ideas: train it, test it, trust it. But then within the session, we'll also train it where we are at the moment. And then we'll test it by putting a little bit more pressure, changing players around, changing ideas around. And then we'll give it back to the players to trust it. And we have to put this trust in the player, this ownership in the player to make the decision. And we're going to talk about decisions a lot more as this session progresses. And we're going to talk about it a lot more as the classroom session will grow at 1 o'clock. Alright, so we're going to break this down a little bit now, and we're going to start moving into our next sessions. Alright, so players, would you please come in a moment? So as Coach Davis deals with the players and he brings them in, you're going to see him using an iPad now. And he's going to take this technology that is prepared off the field onto the field. We want to use technology to make the grass playing time as effective and as long as possible. So we're not actually utilising time on the field by teaching things. We're going to use an app called Tactical Pad. And on that app, we've pre-played the system, we've pre-played the ideas, we've got animations. And it takes about 7 seconds to make this work. So he's going to go over to the girls, he's going to show them the iPad, they're going to see where they're going for their next phase. It's going to be a game called End Zone. It's been one of our multi-game systems. And this is going to happen for each one of our multi-games. And then our multi-games are going to build on each other to create a complete game. So we're going to work 4 games. The end zone game, we're then going to work a crossing game, a cutting in game, and a cutting back game. And the players are going to be in control of each game. But they're going to be reviewed each time to review themselves through the iPad. And as the training session progresses, we're going to start using the iPads within the training session to figure out decisions, choices, executions through something we're going to call off review. We'll talk about that a lot as we go. So Coach Brian now is putting them into their 2 teams. They've gone through the session, they know where they're going to go, and we're just going to let them play and see where they grow. And this is going to be a game called End Zone. Very simple game, I'll explain it as we go through it. Let me move out of the way here.
And play.
game, simple game to roll. Each time we restart, we're going to restart through the goalkeeper. If you remember me saying, when we build through our outside back. When we transition through our outside of our line with our flanks. So we've got this decision process. Where do we go with it? But there's a criteria to the decision. The girls will learn, the guys will learn, the players will learn that base of criteria, which will imprint your style of play. So here we go, moving the ball forwards. They're going to go into the end zone. And once they've gone into that next end zone, that's going to be this game over for the moment. We're going to go straight into our next game. And Coach Mark will have the iPad, and he'll go straight into the next game with them as we go through. So let's see the next phase of success as they get the ball into their end zone. Ball comes back through the goalkeeper, and we're going to finish in success by poking the ball into their end zone. And nice, relax there. Team's going to Coach Brian for the next phase. Got in, please. Keep us in, everybody. So that's our first phase of our multi-game system, end zone. They're now going to go into the next phase. They're just going to get a 7 or a 9-second brief. They'll see the video. They're back out on the field into the next game of the multi-game methodology, which is what we're using to create this width play. And as this grows and develops, hopefully we'll see it. If we look up onto the board up there, you'll see what Coach Brian is showing the players. So now we're coming into the cut-in phase of it. So if it rolls again, the player's going to come out of the back. The players are seeing this exact diagram. It comes out, we hit the player who's now physically in the end zone. They cut in, another player exchanges with them, and they go through. And the value in this is the technology that we're using to support this growth. The coach wants you to get the game going very, very quickly here. Again, play consistently. Play starts through the goalkeeper again. So now we can play in the whole area, but we're looking for the cut-in. So the yellow team plays the ball through. And they play it to their outside player. The outside player cuts in with the ball. There's an exchange of width. They can cut in again, if they wish, an exchange of width, and ideally, we get the shot on the target. If we don't get the shot, we can't control the execution of the decision, but we can support the growth and development of the choice. On every action a player takes is a choice and an execution. Every decision a player takes is a choice and an execution. And we can work those choices, we can grow those choices, we can improve those choices. The actual outline execution of it is down to the growth of the player. And that's where we sort of go through with this technology idea. We'll have the players review their own choices. They might see something we don't. Perception is very different. It's the glasses we look through to what we as coaches might be looking through a different set of glasses versus the player. But if they've got the same objective that we have, or we've stated our given objective very nice, if we state our given objective, we're all on the same panel, we're all going down the same path, we're all on the same journey. If we're all on the same journey, we're going to get to the same destination. We might have different ways of finding it, but we're going to look for this lighthouse, we're going to look for this compass, we're going to look for this idea. Okay, we'll look for the next piece of success in this activity, then we'll go forward. So a nice little cut in, and finish there. Great. Coach Brian, go on to the next session, please. So now they're going to go back in again. We've gone end zone, cut in. We're now going to come into the cross phase. Again, if we look up there, we're going to see the action that's going to come through. So if we look to the diagram here, Coach Davis has taken them through the same diagram ideally. Ball comes into the red players. It now comes into the end zone. We're still on the cut-in diagram, but he's going into the cross. So the first game when we review this is going to come back into end zone, cut-in. Now our third game is cross. And as we progress and grow this system, it's going to grow into a bigger small-sided game or small-sided game. So we're just getting more specific with our task and more general with our task to teach this subject. So as the players come back on the field then, they're straight into the cross system. Coach Brian will deliver the ball immediately to a goalkeeper, make the players think, choose, decide their ideas, and we go live. coach interaction isn't necessarily with the players here on the field. We're letting the players guide themselves, we're letting the players grow themselves. So as they're going through these ideas, they're making their own choices and decisions. The game is there. We're trying to make it player-centered and as player-focused as possible. So we have the cross from the flank, which was nice. See where it comes from the next one, possibly. And we restart again through the goalkeeper. The consistency of trying to build this philosophy, trying to imprint this style of play. Like we said earlier, we build through the back, we transition through the outside of the diamond. So we're trying to bring this into our system as we grow in it on a consistent basis. It's a little bit of change of behaviour. See where we go here from cross, consistent. Cross comes in, and we take the finish. Very nice. Watch it again at this end. It's a little bit about the habits. If we can build good habits, good behaviours on the field, we can now grow those into any area in which we should grow. If we don't start with good habits and good behaviours, then everything will break down from that point there. Very nice. Now we move into the next phase, Coach Brian. We've gone into end zone, we've gone into cut in, we've gone into cross, and now we're going to come into the final section, which is cut back. And we've trained each one of these sessions. As you remember, I spoke to training, testing, trusting, our three phases of our methodology. This is our training phase. When we come into our multi-game system, we're now going to come into our testing phase. Training, testing, trusting. When we come into the final game, we'll come into our trusting phase. So each one reviews back on each other as a coaching repetition. We know where we're going, we have our lighthouse, we have our guiding light, we have our compass, we know the pathway. The players eventually get to know that pathway as well. And I think as we're seeing here, they're growing into it. And if we can take these players through the transition of these three small games into an immediate transition of three bigger games, you're going to see that success. And like I said earlier, each thing we go through is success criteria. Players will have their own success criteria. We have our success criteria. The team will have their success criteria. So as we look into this one here now, players start again with the goalkeeper. Very repetitive, but we're imprinting style of play. But we give each of the players. Now if you look at the field, on each corner there's a yellow box. That yellow box is a free box for them to cut the ball back through. So this player can take it down, she can take it into the box without pressure if she wishes, and she can cut that ball back. She chose to cut back from the flank. Good decision. We're teaching them cut back. We'd like them to go into the bottom corner to draw the opposition in, to play the whole team on side for the cut back, to create the space at the top, so we can have delayed runners in there. But again, what's successful interactions? Maybe not as successful as I would have wanted, but it's not about me. It's about her. Will she grow on that and build that for the next activity? And if she will, she's going to see and witness her own success. So as we build through this deployment then, and there's a very nice little cross there from it. As we build these ideas, we're going to be going through technology. We use technology to support the growth of this session through a system called Instant, through Huddle, through Academy Soccer Coach, two-dimensional planning, and through the use of tactical pad for the diagrams and information, and global soccer up there for the other areas. We're also now focusing on the coach development. So it's not just the players that are developing. If you look at Coach Davis is wearing a GoPro. The reason he's wearing that GoPro is so that he can, very nice, unlucky, nice effort, so that he can develop himself. He can look through the footage from that GoPro and he can now grow himself. He can go through what we would call, we're talking about all that presentation at 1 o'clock, we're going to talk about emotional intelligence, emotional quotient. And if we can take that coach and make him self-aware of his actions, self-aware of his surroundings, of his decisions and process and how he talks to players, we can make that coach better as well. But it's going to be self-developed. And he's going to work to his own success criteria. Each player will have that criteria. Each player has their goals, their ways they're going forward. Each coach has it. Each team has it. And so this success criteria will grow from all three of us. Team, player, coach. And we're going to work that through the methodology, and we're going to work that through the systems each time. And each one has independent. Okay, and relax there. All right, Coach Davis. Coach Davis is going to take the players in, and we're going to go through a complete multi-game. It's going to transition from end zone straight into cross. Sorry, end zone straight into cut in, the cross to cut back. And it's going to be competitive. We have to make it competitive. If we don't make it competitive, how are we lifting the effort? How are we lifting the environment? So the element of competition that we're going to utilize and use is going to support the effort. The only thing these players can control, chances are, is their effort. But we might blame them for not putting that effort in there. Why? Because probably we, us as coaches, haven't created the environment that inspires and grows that sort of outcome. If we're a coach-controlled environment, then we're looking to us to be the centre of it. If we're a player-controlled environment, then we're looking to the players the centre of it. If we can achieve that, we can achieve success in many, many more dimensions. Alright, so as Coach Brian brings them back on the field, we're going to go through this one single complete game. And each time it transitions through, the coach back to the goalkeeper, or each time it transitions through success, and I believe our success criteria is a shot on goal, whether it's successful or not, that will determine if we change our game. So our first game to come through this will be end zone. We played that before at the very beginning, so if we can get this end zone, the ball will then come back to the coach, and then we're going to go into cut in, and then we're going to go into cross.
No shooting right now. End zone. End zone.
Just reinforcing the ideas on the field, working through the end zone there. So ball comes back to the goalkeeper. Let's watch and see what happens.
Try to get the ball in the attacking half end zone.
Nice, good effort, nice effort. We'll get there next time. Be careful with the cross. Ball restarts through the back. Again, bridging this idea. We play out through our back. We transition through our line. Ball comes to the flank. Nice. We get the cross off. Still on our flank.
Can we create a shot?
And we're going to give it to them. It might take time. We're not going to progress because we want to progress. We're going to progress because the players have earned the success to progress. They know their activity is end zone. They know their activity is getting the shots off. So let's watch it as we go through here. Each time we see that head move, each time we see that head stand, we're looking at a decision. We're looking at that execution of that decision. As I said earlier, when we come into this final game in about 10-15 minutes, he comes into the end zone nicely. And that end zone good, we get the shot off maybe. Very nice hand rest there, ball comes back to the goalkeeper, comes back to the coach. Brand new game starts now. Now they're on the cut-in game. They've gone from end zone to cut-in. So brand new game starts, brand new method. Can she cut in? She's cutting in. Can she finish? Great, shot happens. A brand new game starts again now. Now we've got end zone cut in. Now our condition here, our restriction, is cross. We can only score from the cross. So this game grows from here. Teams are playing through. That's working through their decisions. As you see, communicating, can we get the cross in now? Can we get an effective outcome from the cross? Ball comes in. Cross to cross. Do we get that opportunity to finish? Not quite the shot on goal, so we're still going to persevere, but we're going to let it grow. The 3 games we're playing, back-to-back games, 4 games we're playing. End zone, first game with the multi-game. Cut in, cross, cut back. So in this cross game, we're waiting for our success criteria. Our success criteria is getting a shot from the cross. But we've got to let it grow. We've got to let it develop. Can we independently with players. That was very nice. We can work independently with players. We can grow through their ideas. We can support their decisions. What we don't want to be doing is supporting our decisions. There's a system that Doug and Mark uses called cold calling.
Down here, orange.
You point, we come to the final game of going in now. So Doug and Mark, an educator, he uses a system called cold calling. And he'll ask the players a question. But he will then remain quiet. And he will make you uncomfortable with their answer. But they are to answer. They are to struggle to answer. Eventually we may step into guided development to support them. But on the cold calling system, you'll ask them a decision-based question, and then you'll just remain quiet. And it might be uncomfortable. But sometimes it's good to be uncomfortable to grow. We have to take them continually further to the edge of their comfort zone. And if we do that in our system, we'll try to test and trust them. This is now our testing in phase of the game. We're building through this multi-game as we go. And this is our cutting. So this sort of way to continue on the game. And as a coach, I really feel there's a value in just observing. Taking back, going on the field. Game over. So now they immediately go into the next multi-game. And we transition, maybe the coach will bring them in. Can I get the players coming in, please? All the oranges come into this area here. Oranges, come into this area here, please. All the yellows, go to that area there. Alright. I'd like oranges and yellows to get together as a team and discuss a way you can improve what you're doing. Alright? Who's going to step in as the leader? Who's going to step in and control? Take 60 seconds and discuss what you're doing and how we can improve it. Alright? Discuss what you're doing and how you can improve it. By breaking these two teams into groups, we'll do this again in the final game. We give them 60 seconds, time-based criteria. And they've got to discuss now. We can find out who they are. There's a gentleman called Mark Bennett. He talks about ninjas, assassins, and all these kind of things. And you've got these people in your group, people that want to lead, that die to lead for you. And then you've got disruptors that might not be the most healthy person in the team. If you give the disruptor a role, a job, a task, they're going to turn into a supportive player. And that then just comes down to management, us as a coach, how we manage our team, and how we let the behaviours in our team affect the outcomes. If we go through this, our behaviours will always affect our performance, it will affect our outcome. If we make this a very emotional game, we've got an emotional behaviour that's going to hit emotional performance, it's going to hit a very emotional outcome. If we make this a very competitive game, it's going to be a very competitive performance, which is going to be a very competitive outcome for our players. And if we reinforce these ideas, it's going to grow the outcomes. If you think about that, think about yourself. Behaviour drives performance and leads to outcome. What sort of behaviours are you as a coach putting on the field? Are you raising, raving, are you controlling, or do you sit back? Let's see where we go. Alright, players back out. Oranges go, green, yellows. Let's go straight into our next game on end zone. Okay, Coach Davis is just talking to them, trying to get a little bit of feedback from them. See where they're going. And orange is there. I've just left orange to do it to the tops. How can they decide it? Now, as a coach, we've got to stand back and observe and see what they decided. I wasn't part of their communication. They have to change things on the field themselves. If I'm choicing them, they're changing to my decisions. My decisions are not their decisions. So therefore the decisions they make on that field have to be their own. If they make that decision and they own that decision, they can be a far stronger player than myself giving them that answer. And I agree, occasionally we have to give them that answer. Occasionally we have to stimulate it. But are we not teachers? Yes, we're a coach, but John Woodward says, I'm not a coach, I'm a teacher first. So are you not a teacher first? Or are you a teller? And if you're a teller, you're going to be very controlling. And if we're controlling, we now have to be responsible for all the output. Whereas if we give it to the players, they can be responsible for that output. Their accountability for the game. Remembering that if we break down that word, accountability, they're accounting for their own ability. And that's ideally the way we should go with that. So they're coming into, I think it's going to be cutting in now, see where we go. And this is a second about multi-game. So now we're coming to the training, testing, this is our testing, our multi-games. After we come from here, we're going to go into a final game. So we'll cover the final game to see if learning is taking place. We'll talk about that in a second. Transition through the outside of the diamond, which is very nice. Cut scene. Cross phase, and we transition to the next game. Automatically, the multi-game system takes us into our next control condition, and they play the next game. They're just playing, but how much productivity are we getting out of these players as they're playing? How much effective flank play are we getting out of these players? Cut back, and how much effective play are we getting out of them? The title, the objective is effective flank play through multi-game methodology. Alright, and it comes through. So, this is what I'm observing. I'm looking to see, are we on the right pathway? Are we going where we wish to go? And we move into the last game, I believe. Is that the end of the game? Good. So, now we're going to bring the teams in, and we're going to come into our concluding environment. We're going to play 2 games in our concluding environment. So, we've gone through our training, our testing, our trusting phase. We've gone through our multi-game, the building of the multi-game. We've actually played the multi-game twice. So now we're going to go to do what they came down to do, which is play football, play soccer. So they're going to play soccer now. We're going to drop the field back, we're going to take the width markers off, but just for visual purposes, we're going to leave the cutback boxes in there. We feel at the moment, if you watch the modern game, more goals in a width attacking flank play. You watch Mo Salah, people like this, their balls are coming back with a cutback. Watch William playing for Chelsea. He's receiving more, he's actually more cutback balls than they are crosses. We don't have the height in the box necessarily. So why are we crossing the ball? Or why are we crossing it at height? Or why are we crossing it on the floor? It's not just a delivery, it's a choice of delivery. But we feel if we can work this cut back, we can drive it to the outside line, and then we can look at the delay movement off. And it's something we want to focus on. So all we're leaving is a memory moment on the field of these ideas, these boxes here, so that they can work through. And this is just a game. They're just playing the game. But we as coaches now, we're observing for flank play. Are we seeing width? See, I might go width out the back. I'm seeing width what could be the outside of the diamond here. I'm seeing width over there. We haven't answered it. We've just put them back on the field. So they're coming back in the same system. Now we look at, is there an example of a word? Is there a cut in? Is there a cross? Is there a cut back? But through this system, now if you watch Coach Davis is using an iPad, and his role here is to permanently now just video the system through the iPad. And he's going to video these games as we go. I'm going to take over on this side of the field, and he's going to start his videoing through. So, as the coach, I'm going to take over this game. Coach Davis is working with his iPad, another phase of technology that we wish to bring in. And he's going to be looking at hot reviews. This is something we'll talk about a lot at 1 o'clock. But the hot review, if you watch him, we'll try to figure out what's happening. And can I get a microphone, please, Coach Eric? We're going to go through his hot reviews. The hot review is a video of this session as it's being played out. So Coach Davis, all he's doing is physically videoing the whole session on his iPad now. And when we get something of success, we're going to bring that player out. Possibly success, possibly something that leads to success. But we're going to bring that player out. And we're going to ask that player to review through their last 25 sessions. We can ask that player to review through their last 25 seconds, 15 to 25 seconds of their choices. And as they review through their choices, they're going to be recorded on the iPad. So we're going to just go down here, we've got a microphone, we'll see where we go here with Coach Davis. But they're going to be recorded on the iPad. So I'm going to put the iPad here, and see if we can listen to that. Okay, so we've gone through this whole review. This is reviewer, and she's going to go back into the game. When she goes back into the game, she's going to keep playing. But we've got that now on tape. So this is our whole review. We're going to do this with a couple of other players. And then as we come to the end of the session, or at the end of the session, we're going to give this iPad back to the player. And as they're taking off their shin guards, taking off their socks, whatever it might be, we're going to ask them to watch their review on their own. And as they watch their review on their own, they now get to self-assess themselves. They're going to see the video that they see before their comments. Now, do they look at that video and listen to their comments, and do they change their idea a little bit? This is the idea of the whole review in the cold review. So now they can self-assess their own game. Very nice. They can self-assess their own game. They can hold themselves in the flow, where it might be a little bit emotional behaviour, these performance, and these outcomes. But then when they cool down, calm down, they can reassess themselves at a later time. So now they can change their mind. They can make different decisions. But they can look at that iPad, look at that tape, and they can review it through the use of technology. And that's how we're trying to build it into this system to support it. So go take the system, see if we can listen to the young lady's brief.
I think it related to what we talked about. Like, I had to say bye because she was coming through. So I had to cut it. Just that nobody was in the middle. So then I had the space to cut it.
And she goes straight back in. We might exchange her on the outside with a game changer, because we might have players that are sitting out, and we're going to class them as game changers. We're not going to class them as a substitute. We don't want them to be replacements. We want them to be game changers. So if we put them in, they go in as a game changer. They don't go and replace somebody. And I think the words you use, the semantical idea of the vocabulary that you define within your team, within your manifesto, is going to be effective towards the growth of your players. Because you're calling it a substitute, they see themselves as a substitute. They see themselves maybe not good enough to be on the team. If you're typing them as a game changer, they're now seeing themselves as a player that goes in, that will change the game. And the way we talk to the players sometimes isn't the way our message is heard. So we have to be careful of this. Alright, so we can let the girls keep playing through. I'll now start looking at them and working flank play. Coach Brian will keep with the hot reviews. Here we go. Back to your goalkeeper. Keep ready. Ball comes out to the keeper and we go live. And relax that. Can you just come back to this moment here, please? Can you bring me that ball, pass that ball over? Bring that ball over. Alright, so we've got a player here which is looking to penetrate. But I think there's other decisions. So, can you talk me back through your last 15 seconds of your thought process on your idea? therefore, where were your players? Behind you. So, what would you have done as a player to support that kind of action? Turned and kept the ball. Could you have used any other body language possibly to find that out? What other body language do you have? What other systems do you have to scan the field? Nice, really nice. So if we see ahead of ourselves, there's nothing there, we can scan the check our shoulder. If we look kind of, I think you were a little bit wider at the time, just move wider, just move in there. Nice. Now, if we look over your right shoulder, what do you see? We could play that back there, couldn't we? And then where might you move to create space? How could you create space in the middle? Where might you move to create space in the middle? Going high, could you show me? Would you agree with that? Would you agree she's creating space in the middle by moving into the middle? Good. Move outside. So she moves outside now. She's created space in the middle by moving higher, as she suggested. But now we've got the space in the middle. Now we've got another effective flank player. Now the ball could transition across. Okay? We'd like to come back in. Alright, so let's just rehearse that idea. I like you to look forward. Obviously you're not seeing what I'm doing. So let's check our shoulder, play it back, move out to the width. Can you show me that first? And we have that hold. Now, what I'd like to see from this, what do you now see? What do you see, young lady? Where? What would you do with that space? Do you agree that she should check into that space? You do? Who else agrees that she should check into that space? Who thinks she should check in? And who thinks she should hold back and leave the space open? Why? Okay, and if you look at this player here, what's ahead of this player here? What can you see ahead of you? I know you're an orange player, but what can you see ahead of yourself? We can't we? So if we create this space but don't dominate this space, the ball can now then take the run. So the ball gets passed in there, please pass the ball in there. We can move into the ball. Would you move into the ball? It's all right. And then if we look up, we've now got penetrating space to the back door through the split pass. This player can make her run outside. We've got the cross, the cutback, and we've got the far post finish. But everything stems really from the scanning idea of that player checking her shoulder, looking to go width to go forward. Because we didn't have anything forward. So now, therefore, we have to manufacture our forward move and recreate it. Alright. So come back in and we'll just restart there and keep playing. Come back into where you were. Come back into where you were. Good, beautiful. Come back into where you were. Nice. So check the shoulder, drop it back to her, you move into the space, you move forward, come around, hit the split, and we're in. Let's play. Good. Hold the space. Good, 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 good. Almost. It was almost successful there. So we just got to grow from there. We'll play the ball out for the goalkeeper, please. But what we're trying to get at there is it takes time. Yes, we want to be on and off the field in 60 seconds and grow. But if we can get these players to understand their decisions, and we can grow their decisions and know that there's one, there's two, there's three out there, and we can listen empathetically to these players, we can understand these players and we can grow these players a little bit stronger. And the game becomes theirs. And in the beginning, it's going to take time. But we've kind of got time. We've got that 90 minutes, we've got that time area. Let them express themselves a little bit more. Let them grow their self-confidence a little bit more. So, as we come in here, play about 5 minutes, and then we'll break it down. I'm looking at it now, the game has come slightly back to the central channel. I know we're quite a thin field here, but it's come back. So now maybe I'm going to stimulate what she's doing herself, stimulate that thought to get that ball to the width player to go across. And I might do that using my toolbox, just bringing one player out, communicating with one player so that they can then change that game. Versus, can you bring it out, goalkeeper, please? Good. Versus stopping the play. Every time I stop the play, I stop the momentum. So I'm really only going to stop that play using brief methodology if a multiple of actions are happening consistently. It's going to benefit the whole team. If it's not going to benefit the whole team, then I'm just going to action one player. That was a nice turn. I'm just going to action one player to try and create that width. Good. It's making a nice diagonal run, which is always very good for creating width. When you take that diagonal run, you're going to track the defenders across to create space on the blind side. It's far less predictable. And then it breaks down a little bit of a direct path. See where we go here. One more run through and we'll go through. So to review the session here for you guys watching and the players, we'll review with the players independently and we'll talk to them about what did you learn. This area really is the learning phase for us as coaches as we stand back and observe. If we want learning to take place, then we've got to confirm that that learning has taken place. If we're trying to imprint something on the players and we bring them into the game and then they not repeat it, because anybody can repeat something, but if they grow it, develop it, and they take it as their own ownership, and we offer them questions and they offer us answers, we can figure out where the learning is taking place. On that method now, we're watching it, and yes, we're attacking from the flank. Yes, we're taking some nice shots. We had a few cutbacks, we had a few crosses. So the imprinting of the multi-game system, where it's now just coming to a game and we've removed the other areas, is kind of working, and it's worked for this hour. But I, as a coach, I've got another training session on Tuesday. How do I know if this hour is effective for Tuesday? How can I confirm whether this hour's worth of training is effective for Tuesday? And I have to ask myself that question. And when I'm planning for that, I'm going to look through film from this session, I'm going to look through objective statistics from this session, I'm going to look through GoPro from this session, I'm going to look through all these ideas. So here's a challenge for you. How about we start the very next session we play with a game. We just go on that field for 10 minutes and we just play this game that we finished with. And do we see what we saw at the end of this game in the beginning of the next training session? Have we transferred it over? We don't tell them anything, we don't ask them what we're looking for, we don't give them any objectives, we just set them up in whatever system we just set them up in, and we have them play. And covertly, we stand up and we watch. And do they start doing what we've trained? Or do they go back to Route 1, long, direct, whatever you want to call it? If they go back into playing in the style that we're teaching, we're succeeding and we're learning. Third-party learning. When one person tells somebody something else and gets exchanged through a third-party basis, we're growing through it. If we go back to just playing how we played before, then we weren't effective in our training session, so now our next training session has to be replayed. Do we do that? Or do we just go on because it's a curriculum and we must do this session on Thursday and we must do this session on Tuesday and we must do this session on Thursday? Or do we actually hold and bring back? A rhetorical question that you should be asking, or we as coaches should be asking ourselves, so that we move at the player's speed of learning and not necessarily our speed of operation. If we can do that, we can achieve these ideas. Alright. I'm going to call the game to a halt here. I need to work on the microphone with the players and we'll start to round up the session a little bit. But we want to finish on success if we can. So I'm going to look for this success. Ball come out from the goalkeeper, please. Goalkeeper, can you bring a ball out? Ball out, please. We're going to finish this session on success. So as the ball comes out, we're looking for something from the flank. We're looking for something from the flank for our success rate. Nice, and we'll call that a nice little shot. Look at we come in for these teams. So we can take the orange team over here, please, and the yellow team on this side. Orange on my left, yellow on bottom. And just take a knee, please. Come down, sit down, do what you're going to do. And I'm just going to go through a little activity. Can we nice and close? Can we nice and close? I'm going to go through a little activity with you. And the activity on this board is, what did I learn? So I'm going to pass the microphone around to you guys. I'm going to ask you, what did you learn? What did you pick up? What ideas did you see? What decisions did you make? Where were you successful? Where might like you learn? Where might like you learn? That's a good English, isn't it? Where would you like to learn more in this kind of idea? Alright, so let's start with you. Here's the microphone. What did you learn?
I learned from writing or drawing on the side instead of just keep going down. Just tell me for yourself.
How did you learn that?
From watching down there. Instead of me drill we did with just all 3 drills going down the sideline. I play right back, so it helped me like see how I can like help the midfield get up and make runs.
What did you see?
The midfielder like ran up the sideline and was able to like take it more wide so we could have more space, and then it also creates space in the middle of the field.
Nice, good. So as we grow these questions, we as coaches, we're not looking for generalities out of the player. We're looking for specificity and specificity of feedback. Let's go.
Like we need to use the whole width of the field. Just a lot of the runs like what we worked on was playing to the outside player to like go down to the corner and either cut back or cross it in. So we need to use the space.
How did we make that space?
By everybody making runs and moving around to make the field open.
Okay, so what led to the space in the middle?
The outside players put in.
Because the width we created on the outside. So that space, by making ourselves big and wide in our attack, we create time and space. That's an idea. And our last one, it's always wise, it's always nice, and I always enjoy it. We're back to our goalkeeper. Our goalkeeper sees a lot of the game. She can sometimes see with a different perspective to the players. What did you see? What did you learn?
I definitely learned from the crosses where I should position myself. And also for the players, I learned how to spread out the field with passing it out wide and where to talk for people to go out.
Did you enjoy the fact that you were incorporated into the game with the initial phase of distribution?
Yes, I definitely did.
Good. Yes, I definitely did. We've got to bring our goalkeeper in. Thank you very much. We have to bring our goalkeeper into the game. All right, ladies, would you please like to stand, come to the middle of the field? I'd like to present you to the United Soccer coaches. So just come through to the front here, please. All right, so that's it. Okay, so to conclude. Obviously, thank the players, coaching. I'd like to thank the players of the Baltimore Armour. I'd like to thank the players of the Pipeline for providing a great opportunity for us to learn as coaches. Thanking you for being part of the United Soccer Coaches. If you want to follow us, find us on Instagram at @Pass_Academy, or you can find us on Facebook at Pass Soccer Academy. Growing from here at 1 o'clock, we're going to be in reading room 309, dissecting this through the technology, how it's built, how it's made. If you'd like to be there, we'd like to have you. Ladies and gentlemen, Pipeline Armour, thank you very much.